Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our December Virtual Parent Cafe. We hope that you are all doing well, and we're excited for you all to join us as we talk about holiday stress. Without further ado, we would love for you to enjoy our agency video.
I think anything is possible when it comes to supporting our community members, especially for those who are looking for help and looking to change their life for the better. That drives and motivates my passion to help others.
Buscar ayuda es lo más sano. El Centro de Psicoterapia de Nueva York me ha ayudado mucho a mí, a mi familia, a mis hijas a salir adelante.
NYPCC was founded in 1974 to meet the mental health needs of the community. And we're helping people who would not be able to get the services if NYPCC were not in their neighborhoods. And now, almost 50 years later, our agency is the largest outpatient provider of mental health services in New York State.
Nos ha enseñado muchas cosas como familia, como hijos. De 2 años para acá que hemos estado con NYPCC, yo he visto el cambio de ellas y me siento orgullosa porque cuando trabajamos en equipo en casa es algo totalmente diferente que yo a veces las quedo viendo y yo digo, wow.
We want to go into our communities. We want to do workshops. We want to do trainings. We want to raise awareness around mental health.
Cuando hay algo, un desorden en la familia, yo pensé que esa era mi responsabilidad y me sentía como sola. Cuando tú escuchas a otras personas hablar de que sí hay solución, entonces quieres dar el brinco, quieres saltar y decir, tengo que estar allá.
It means the world to me to help this community because I am from the community. We know the people that we serve because we are the people who we serve.
La verdad, me siento muy orgullosa de tener en el área que yo vivo un centro así.
We're unique, I think, because of our staff, because of the passion our staff have.
I'm actually NYPCC's Bronx office first intern. They hired me full-time when I graduated, and I've just been here ever since. One of the biggest things that NYPCC has really helped me in my career is to give me the confidence. We also have great company culture, great company benefits and programs, and also events. Working on something that you like, helping people, and also like you enjoy the company, like I think that's a win-win-win, right?
Currently, there's a mental health crisis in the entire country, but the neighborhoods that we're in have been impacted even more severely.
When we're in the community, connecting with community members, we always get that oh my God, you guys are angels. You guys come to help us. And that's how it truly feels. The vision I see is to help those who are in a true dark space see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I would love for us as an agency to continue to be that beacon of light and to continue to shine for our community members.
All right, thank you so much, Anthony. We hope that you all enjoyed that agency video. And now we would like to present to you our moderator for today, our very own Mr. Scott Bloom. Take it away, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you, Selena, and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today for the final NYPCC Parent Cafe of 2023. Today's topic is Holiday Chill, keeping the holidays stress-free for you and your family. We know that the holidays bring along with them memories of good times, gatherings with friends, family, and lots of gratitude. But they can also, as we know, start to usher in pressure and lots of stress. And it's not just from the holidays. You know, since the pandemic, normal everyday situations like going out to eat and lining up for food shopping, transportation, going into the subways, have sometimes turned into aggravating scenarios that have left many of us stressed out beyond help. Not to mention, we can easily get stressed about local, national, and international situations that impact our thinking and impact our feelings on a daily basis. So the thing about stress is that it feels very overwhelming as it's happening. But If you've learned to manage it, then we can work on it so that it subsides and we can move on in life. Our cafe today is going to offer you some time-tested techniques and strategies to lessen the stress in your life. And once you've mastered them, you can show your children and your colleagues and your friends, and you can do them just about anywhere and any time. And in order to help us do that, I want to present our nationally known presenter, Mr. Jordan Friedman. Jordan is a stress management and wellness education pioneer. For 30 years, he's helped people around the world reduce stress for greater school, work, and personal success. In 2004, Jordan founded The Stress Coach, a New York-based company that produces training programs, ongoing workplace, school wellness initiatives, and mobile stress reduction resources. So he's just the right guy at the right time. His background includes that he was the former director of Columbia University's health education program, and his books, apps, and presentations have taught stress prevention and reduction skills to everyone from college students and CEOs to police officers and incarcerated adults. Remember that stress covers everyone. Nobody is excluded. He's also the host of the Chill Factory podcast, which I was a guest on, and has a master's degree in public health and health education from New York University. He specializes in teaching coaches, educators, healthcare providers, and other supporting professionals and how to use and teach stress anxiety reduction techniques. He's closely worked with the New York City Department of Health and Education, bringing stress reduction training to teachers, students, and parents alike. So we're very happy and fortunate to present Jordan Friedman. Jordan?
Hey, Scott, and hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm honored to be the last presenter in the Parents Cafe for 2023. It's actually a great time to talk about stress reduction, not just because it's the holidays and they can be extra stressful, but it's also the beginning or almost the beginning of a new year. So you can take what we talk about today through the holidays and certainly through the new year. Thanks to NYPCC for inviting me to do this, and again to Scott and to the whole NYPCC team for putting this together. And indeed, Scott Bloom was a fantastic guest on the Chill Factory podcast, which I'll mention toward the end of the short presentation today. He did an episode that we titled "Worried About My Younger Kids." So really a perfect episode to listen to if you have concerns about your kids or other family members' mental health. So I highly recommend that. I'm glad you mentioned that, Scott. Let me just say a couple things up front about stress and about anxiety. And I'm going to push back just a little bit on the subtitle of this presentation, which is something like how to have stress-free holidays. There is no such thing. There's no such thing as stress-free holidays, a stress-free family, a stress-free city, a stress-free job. Stress is a very important part of life. We could not exist without stress. Stress helps us become more resilient. It helps us grow. It helps us learn how to deal with challenging situations. So I think a better subtitle would be how to have a less stressed or how to prevent some stress this holiday season and beyond. Something else I'll say up front is that there are a million ways, probably 5 million ways to manage stress. We're all different. We all like different things. We all have different challenges. We all have different schedules. So I present a variety of techniques and strategies, and I hope that you will take at least one or maybe all of them or ideas from some of them away and use on a regular basis. I also strongly believe that we need to be stress coaches, not only for ourselves, but for everyone else we come into contact with, and certainly our families. So I'm known as the stress coach. That's been my professional nickname for a long time. But really, you need to be a stress coach for yourself and for others. It's, I think, a really critical way that we will make significant progress toward reducing the skyrocketing stress and anxiety levels, depression levels, suicide levels that we have seen in the last 10 to 15 years in this country. Stress is a big component of mental health, and it's a big component of wellness, and actually learning to reduce stress can be enjoyable and certainly make our lives more enjoyable. So without further ado, let's start reducing some of this stress. So I love to use comparisons to real life things, and especially transportation comparisons when we're talking about stress and stress reduction. They just work really, really well. Let me give you a full screen here for a better view. Okay, so I think most of us on the call today are in the Northeast here in New York, as I am. So this picture is not all too unfamiliar and maybe stress producing for some of you. So stress is like snow. And as we can see in this picture, snow makes it difficult and sometimes impossible for us to get where we want to go. So that could be to a family member's house for holiday dinner. It could be to a doctor's appointment. It could be just getting home from work. It could be picking kids up at school. You name the destination. So in life, stress, which is like snow, makes it difficult for us to communicate clearly, to think clearly, to focus, to keep from getting angry. It makes us feel overwhelmed sometimes. It prevents us from reaching our goals and feeling happy and being all that we can be. So the idea is to bring in some snow plows, just like we see in this picture, just like we know happens here in the city and in the surroundings. When it snows, the snow plows come out to clear a path so that it makes it easier for that traveler there in the car or anyone on the road to reach their destination, whatever it might be. Now, does that mean that the plow clears out all of the snow on the ground? Definitely not. We know it keeps snowing. It can still be treacherous, but at least the road is clearer. At least the path is clearer for us to move forward. And that's true again about stress reduction. These snow plows that I'll start presenting to you in a minute will not clear away all of your stress. They may just take some of it away, but that could help you get to the next step of where you want to go, which could be greater focus, a more composed way of presenting yourself to someone, a clearer way of saying something, completing a task in a faster, more enjoyable way. So lots of snow plows to talk about, and we'll start with, lo and behold, another transportation comparison. They do work really well. This first snow plow, a stress plow that I'll talk about is one I love. It's called Stress GPS, and I always start out with it because it really gets us to think about our sources of stress and makes us more aware of our stress. And that's really important to better enable us to reduce our stress. So if you think about GPS, this miracle of technology, it's hard for me to think of how we got on without GPS prior to its development. So you know that GPS, Global Positioning System, it helps us know which route to take to reach where we want to go. It tells us different traffic problems, block-ups along the way. It tells us where the mall is, where the restaurants are, where the bathrooms are. It calculates how long it's going to take us to go from point A to point B. It reroutes us if there's traffic ahead or an accident, or if we accidentally get off on the wrong exit. So stress GPS really gets us to do the same thing. It gets us to think about our stress and anxiety and the sources of our stress and anxiety in a different way, maybe in a way that you've never thought about them before, to help us better get to our destinations. So one example of this is identifying, in this case, because we're talking about the holidays, your sources of holiday stress. So if you'd like to participate along, because I only have 3 here, there are thousands of them, I'm sure, feel free in the comments section to just type in some of your sources of holiday stress, and Scott or someone will read some of them off.
Yeah, folks, you can put them in the chat. What are some of your sources of stress? Just put them in the chat.
Maybe one of them, as you're thinking about them and putting them in the chat section, one of them might be kids are home from school, they're on holiday break. So maybe you're used to having some time on your own during the day, not having the noise, not needing to plan their every hour because usually they're in school. So that's really good to think about ahead of them being on break, ahead of the holiday season. Maybe another source of stress for you is spending too much money. It's the holidays, and kids and others in the family and maybe friends have expectations about getting gifts or certain types of gifts. And that can be a real strain, a real stressor on your budget. So that's something important to think about. Maybe you're worried about eating too much this holiday season. I definitely think that eating is an amazing thing and can be a great and special way to celebrate. I'm definitely not down on eating, but some of us, I'll just use myself as an example, can go a little overboard with this, and then I maybe don't feel so good after the fact. Now, you may think, oh, well, of course I know these are sources of stress over the holidays or maybe in other times of the year. But when we're stressed out, when we're in the middle of a stress blizzard, we don't tend to stop, sit down and maybe write out or put in our phones our sources of stress and maybe 1 or 2 ways that we're going to try and address them, that we're going to think about them ahead of time, something we're going to do to make them less stressful or even prevent them. For these, for example, structure in some time, things and activities for our kids to do. Come up with a budget of what we can spend, or set expectations ahead of Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or Hanukkah, or whenever you give presents. If you do, set some expectations ahead of time. This year, we're going to give these types of presents, or we're having some challenges family, so we're not going to be able to get the 850-inch TV this year, but maybe next year. Same thing with how we're eating. Scott, any comments come in? Stressors?
Oh yeah, lots of comments.
Go for it.
Keeping the kids entertained when they're off from school and it's cold outside. Caregiving, low budget, not knowing what to buy, time management, buying gifts, entertaining family, picking up family from the airport, back and forth, scheduling, family members that you haven't dealt with for a while. Yeah, so yeah, that's a lot of, I think, really spot on stress points.
Yeah, outstanding. Not outstanding that you have these as sources of stress, but great example. So my advice to you as we're talking about stress GPS, this is really stress prevention, everyone. Think of some of your stress sources and then go a little deeper, maybe get some help, some brainstorming help from other family members, from friends, to say, okay, what are the 1 or 2 things I'm going to do to try and make this source of stress less stressful? And if we look at another aspect of stress GPS, I love this one because it's sort of very personalized and we're all different in this way. What are your stress symptoms? In other words, what do you feel like when you're stressed out? What are some of the physical and emotional feelings that you pretty much always or frequently identify, associate with the stress you're experiencing? Do you get irritated? Do you get muscle tension? I just did a workshop a couple days ago, and somebody talked about how their shoulders and the back of their neck get super, super tight, like they're going to break, and they know they're stressed out. Some people feel overwhelmed. Some people start to shake a little bit. There are lots of different symptoms that we experience, and feel free again to put some of yours, we won't attach any names to it, some of yours in the chat. So the reason thinking about and identifying some of your stress symptoms, the reason that's important is that they're like dashboard indicator lights in your car, another transportation comparison. So we have dashboards in our vehicles because the dashboard tells us if something needs attention. If we need more gas, if the back right tire is low, if there's not enough water in the radiator. This identification of symptoms and being aware of these symptoms is essentially the same thing. If we start to feel eye strain, which is a form of muscle tension, or back pain, or we start to feel irritable or short of breath, or our heart is pounding, that's a very good sign. It's a dashboard indicator that can say to us, hey, I'm having a stress symptom. Let me just take a minute and just take a break, or take a walk around the house or around the block or in the park, or do a deep breathing exercise, which we're going to get to in a second, so that I can prevent some of these symptoms from becoming worse. Headaches, migraines, difficulty sleeping, saying something you're going to regret, reacting in anger when maybe you could have reacted in a more composed, constructive way. It's as simple as sometimes stopping maybe once or twice an hour and asking yourself, how am I feeling? How do I feel right now? And then listening to your body, including your mind. And if one of your stress symptoms comes up, do something about it. Scott, any symptoms identified?
Oh, yeah, we've got lots. It's interesting. It's in some ways it's split between the body and emotions, which I think is really interesting. Hyper fixation on just getting it all done, cooling your mind down. I feel depressed, don't feel like doing anything, giving up on everything, feeling sad, overwhelmed. And then some of the body, high blood pressure, neck tension, emotionally shutting down, stomach aches, getting depressed or a lack of sleep. So it's a nice, interesting mixture there.
Yeah, again, excellent symptoms, not excellent that you have them because they usually don't feel very good. But there's a silver lining. Again, if we listen to them, if we take a moment to just scan our bodies and our minds, and we come up with some of these that you're mentioning, some on the list, and then we simply take a break, we simply do an exercise, we can have a real impact on reversing these symptoms, or certainly quieting them down, and maybe smoothing the road for the 100 other things we have to do for the rest of the day. And a last Stress GPS question, and if you quit out of this webinar right after this, I will consider it a success, because this identification of your stress counterbalances is one of the most important stress and anxiety reduction techniques that exists, in my opinion. So a stress counterbalance, if you think about a balance, like one of those scales that they put weights on, let's say this side is stress, and it's really weighing you down, it's really dragging you down. And we ask ourselves, what kind of counterbalance, what kind of weight, what kind of stress reduction activity, or we may just think of it as an activity, can we do that balances the scales, maybe even tips them in the other direction so that we're more relaxed? You see the list here, things like getting good sleep, eating breakfast, exercise, meditation, mindfulness, listening to music, laughter. Sometimes, often, those activities or ones that you should feel free, please, to add to the chat can have a really quick impact on counterbalancing our stress. So what I encourage people who I work with, including all of you, to do is to make sure you know what your counterbalance, even if it's just one, is, and that you make sure to do it every day, at least for a little bit, and put it in your calendar. Have somebody remind you, put a sticky note in front of you to remind you to do it. These things can so easily be forgotten. We don't have time to do it, but they're really powerful. Scott, counterbalances from the audience.
Yeah, well, we have some really interesting. We have yoga, quiet walks, listening to positive affirmations every day, reading and writing, journaling, taking the first sip of a cup of Starbucks gingerbread chai tea latte, and bubble baths, playing with my dog. Yeah, that's a great one.
It's
Yeah.
really great. Really, really great. I love the coffee one, especially. Coffee is a stress producer, but it has a lot of other really good benefits. So including waking up. So that's a good one. So for everyone, because we're talking about, how can we get our kids and our other family members, even our friends, to feel less stressed? Now you have 3 questions you can ask them, 3 little exercises you can help them with to identify sources of stress, think about their symptoms or dashboard indicators, and their critical counterbalances and how they can practice at least one of them every day. Okay, let's get another snowplow in here. It's called Quick Calm, and I mentioned a breathing exercise as an option before to, let's say, one of the stress symptoms you have. It could be shortness of breath, or feeling really tense, or feeling like your heart's pounding, or feeling overwhelmed. Any number of stressors, some of which you all identified, and then some that were on the stress GPS forms. So Quick Calm. This is a technique, really, this is the first technique I ever learned when I started studying stress reduction as an academic discipline. And I got to tell you, I sat down in the lecture hall and I heard we were going to do deep breathing today. And I thought to myself, this is just like California mumbo jumbo. It's not going to make a difference. Everybody knows to breathe, to feel better. And it wasn't until I did pretty much this exact exercise that I'm going to teach you that I realized, oh my gosh, this really works. It's really good to do it in a structured way, like I'm going to teach you. This really makes a difference. And I've been teaching Quick Calm ever since. And I'll sometimes do a workshop like this, and then 5 years later, I'll run into someone in the workshop, or I'll talk with them, and they'll say, Jordan, you brought a lot of snowplows to that presentation. I don't remember any of them except Quick Calm, which I still do because it really helps. So let's do it. If you'd like, if you are in a situation where you can, relax in your chair or on your sofa, maybe you're at a standing desk, but just let yourself relax. And what I'll have you do is, don't do it yet, but I'll take you all the way through it. So you don't have to remember any of this. I'll leave the slide up on the screen so that you can also look at it visually. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. You don't have to close your eyes for this exercise. Then I'll ask you to take a deep breath in through your nose. I'll ask you to hold that breath for 4 to 5 seconds. And while you're holding the breath, I'm going to ask you to think, I am warm. And then I'll have you exhale through your mouth and think, I am calm. And when you inhale, again through your nose, and when you exhale, like you're blowing through a straw through your mouth. Okay, so here we go. If you'd like, you can close your eyes. and just breathe normally for a couple of moments. And on the count of 3, 2, 1, take a deep breath in through your nose if you can. Good. And hold. And think to yourself, I am warm. And exhale, blow like you're blowing through a straw. And think, I am calm. And keeping your eyes closed, just breathe normally again for a few moments. And again, 3, 2, 1, take a deep breath in through your nose and hold and think, I am warm. And exhale through your mouth like you're blowing through a straw. And think, I am calm. And one more time. 3, 2, 1, deep breath in through your nose and hold. Think, I am warm. And exhale through your mouth. Think, I am calm. I'm going to do a really quick explainer of Quick Calm and why and how it works. And think about how you feel right now. If you do feel any calmer, how the exercise made you feel. If you'd like to put that in the chat, I can address a couple of the things that you say now. But first, let me just tell you what Quick Calm is about. So Quick Calm is designed to calm us down quickly, thus its name, when we're feeling suddenly stressed about something. So if you were, when we started Quick Calm, if you were feeling generally calm, and you didn't feel much different after we did Quick Calm, that's pretty normal because if you're feeling calm to begin with, there's not much to calm down from. But if you do feel some calmness or a lot of it with Quick Calm, it's an excellent indication it can work really well for you in stressful situations to help you calm down quickly. So what we're doing when we take a deep breath in and out is we're stimulating a muscle in the center part of our chest. It's called the diaphragm. Everybody has one. It moves up and down. And when it does that through deep breathing, it stimulates a nerve in our neck called the vagus nerve, which runs from about the chin just over the heart. And when the vagus nerve is stimulated, it sprays hormones onto the heart that cause the heart to slow down. So Quick Calm and other breathing exercises are like texting your heart and therefore your breathing rate, and therefore your muscle tension to chill, to relax. So this is not just what I thought years ago when I started learning this. Oh, some think happy thoughts and everything will be good. This actually has a physiological purpose and a physiological reaction. It literally takes us from a stress response to a relaxation response. Scott, any thoughts about Quick Calm from the group?
Yeah, just some expressions of gratitude and thank you. People are feeling calm, feeling like they needed that. Gives a sense of equilibrium. It's relaxing to do, releases tension in the shoulders. I know I felt a little more grounded as we were setting up today and getting ready for this. Now I definitely feel more grounded in that. So thank you.
Great, excellent. And I recommend trying Quick Calm, practicing it. It took us 2 minutes, I think, to do it once a day. If you're standing in line at the grocery store, if you're in traffic and someone just cut you off, or even if, nothing in particular, nothing stressful is happening, because when we learn how to use it, we can employ it right away for immediate results. So super powerful technique, super powerful stress plow that we can use easily and with great effect. If you had trouble holding the breath for as long as I asked you to hold it, you don't have to hold it for as long. If you have trouble breathing through your nose, inhaling through your nose, maybe you have a cold or it's just difficult to do that, you can inhale through your mouth, exhale through your mouth. If you don't like the words warm and calm, you can change them to something else. When you inhale, you can say, I'm chill, or I'm at peace. And then when you exhale, you can say, I'm relaxed, or I feel good. Anything that works well for you. And when we get to some questions at the end, we can talk about Quick Calm again. We're going to go on a quick instant vacation in a couple of minutes to round things out. But I did want to take at least a moment to talk about what I call sleeping pills. So I have them in quote marks because they're not really medicine, but they can have the same impact as taking a sleeping pill to help us sleep. The reason I never do a presentation without talking about sleep is because it is so foundational to not only our mental health and physical health, but to our stress level. So I think you know that when you're tired, it's harder to deal with stress. It's harder to deal with the kids running around screaming. It's harder to deal with difficult people. It's harder to deal with cold weather and nasty weather and lots of other challenges. It's also, sleep is also made more difficult by stress and by anxiety. So it's a very, it's a feedback loop. And it's very easy to get into a cycle of poor sleep, lots of stress, lots of sleep, lots of stress, poor sleep. So some things that you can do that researchers over the past, 10 years for sure, more than that in some cases, have really found 4 things that are really important and really effective to not only better quality sleep, but staying asleep for longer. One of them, and these are all, goals to get to, at least to try to get to. Some of them can be really difficult. One is going to sleep and getting up at the same time each day, if possible, even on the weekends. So if you go to sleep at 10 and you need 7 hours of sleep, then you can get up at 5 every morning and be cool, or, 11 and 6, whatever it might be for you. But try to keep to that schedule every day of the week. Our bodies and brains like reliability, like regularity, they like rhythm. And this is one way that we can get into a sleep rhythm. Banishing blue light. So blue light are those little LED lights. I'm looking at one of them right now from my camera. That are everywhere. They're on our TV sets. They're on the air conditioner. They're on the fan. They're on the I forget what they're called, the extension bar that we plug all the stuff into. And in the middle of the night, you can wake up and it can seem like the room is full of light. Blue light also comes from our phone screens and from our computer screens. So trying to avoid taking in blue light too close to bedtime and all through the night is really good. Why? Because blue light mimics sunlight. So sunlight is not good for sleep. Therefore, blue light is not good for sleep. It can be as simple as putting a sticky or a piece of tape over some kind of electrical device. I do that with my TV, and it's made a huge difference. And again, weaning yourself off of your phone or your computer at least 30 minutes before you go to sleep. Another thing, this is really 3 things: cool, dark, and quiet. So making sure your sleeping space, as best as possible, is as cool as you can get it. Using a fan can be really helpful. As dark as you can get it, some kind of blackout shades or curtain, or even something you just throw over the windows to keep out the light. a little easier this time of year because it gets lighter later, so it helps us stay asleep. So this is a really good one for the warmer months when the sun comes up really early. And quiet. Most of us are in New York City. It is really difficult to get quiet here, but if you use white noise, like a machine or a fan creates white noise, it helps to screen out things like people talking, music, horns, sirens, you name it. We have it here in the city, as do other people in other places. And lastly, don't force yourself to sleep. If you wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, which many people do, feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you could even feel on the verge of a panic episode, and it might be really difficult to get back to sleep. Don't try to force yourself back to sleep by just staying there and wishing yourself to sleep. It seems to be better to go and do something, listen to a book, read a book, listen to some calming music so that you can ease yourself back into sleep and then go back to bed if you're not physically in bed yet. So 4 sleeping pills you can take to help you reduce stress. And let's take just a few minutes, as promised, to go on an instant vacation, and then we'll wrap up with a couple of great resources and any questions or comments you have. So instant vacation is guided imagery, it's visualization. You may have done exercises similar to this. Very simply, what these exercises do is they use the power of the brain to relax us. So you know that when you're thinking about all of the stuff you need to do for the holidays, the stuff you need to cook, the traveling you need to do, the weather that might affect you, the kids running around yelling, all that stuff you mentioned, it can make you feel stressed and anxious and tense and a lot of those symptoms that we talked about. Well, the brain can also do the reverse. If we think about things that help us feel calm and we get sensory input through our ears and through our eyes of things that are relaxing and calming to us, it has the reverse effect. It can help us feel really calm. And instant vacation is in that category. So just like with Quick Calm a few minutes ago, if you'd like, get relaxed, take a relaxed position, sit back in your chair, close your eyes if you'd like. We're going to take a very short instant vacation. And if there's anything that comes up during this guided journey that makes you feel stressed or uncomfortable, just stop thinking about it, think about something else, and come back to it when you feel more comfortable. And we'll come back in just a few minutes. Focus on your breathing. As you breathe in and out, let any stress and tension leave your body with each exhalation. As your worries and concerns evaporate, they're replaced by a light breeze, a breeze that you feel on your face and through your hair. The breeze carries you along as you stroll down a white, sandy beach, a beach that stretches for as far as your eyes can see. Continue walking along this beach. The sun is shining. The waves are gently lapping against the shore. Your shoes are off, and you're enjoying walking through the gentle surf where the ocean meets the shore. In the distance, you see what appears to be a beach chair just at the edge of the water. You're the only person on this beach, so the chair must be for you. Make your way to the chair, continuing to feel the breeze, the warmth of the sun, and the ocean water on your feet. You're almost at the beach chair. Now you take a seat. It couldn't be more comfortable as you continue to enjoy the sights and sounds of this secluded, peaceful beach. Stay here and enjoy this concert of peace and tranquility. Shortly, you will leave this beach, but you can return to it whenever you wish. As you prepare to rise from your beach chair and walk back to where you began, think about what you'll see when you return. Rise from your beach chair now and start walking back to the place where you started. As you walk, slowly count down to yourself from 10 to 0. 9, 8, 7, and when you reach 0, you'll be back at your starting point. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. Now, I always ask after we're done this exercise how long you thought that was. Since we're coming up on the end of the program for today, I will tell you that it was exactly 5 minutes. And I get answers often ranging from 1 minute to 20 minutes. So it's really interesting how our sense of time, especially if you thought it was longer than 5 minutes, is really affected by relaxation. So I hope you felt comfortable and that this short 5-minute exercise helped you feel calm. It's amazing what a 15 or 30-minute exercise can do. But if you only have a few minutes, this is an example of how just a few minutes can go a long way to reducing your stress. And I'm going to tell you about a couple of resources where you can get exercises like this. Let me first just finish up with a couple of quick resources. We mentioned the Chill Factory podcast. Really, this is an encyclopedia of stress and anxiety and mental health topics. So if you're interested in learning more about what we talked about today, or lots of other different things like how to talk to your kids about mental health issues, about public speaking, about making your home or workplace more chill, about how to use the outdoors, even the local park, to help you chill. The Chill Factory is a great resource. It's free, of course, and it's on all major podcast platforms. Also, the Chill Factory app, and at the moment, It's only available to iPhone users, but in January, we should be back up with Android users. We're just doing some needed updates. So note it and then check back in Google Play come January, and you should find it at some point. So the Chill Factory app has hundreds of different relaxation media, including Quick Calm is on there, and different versions of it, like Quick Calm Express. It has different tips. It also has a reminder section where you can set any number of more than 100 different stress, anxiety, mental health specific reminders, because it's hard to remember to do things to cause ourselves to feel calmer and to relax. So that's the Chill Factory app. And I'm giving everyone a free subscription for the next year, for really 13 months, all through 2024. All you have to do is download the Chill Factory app, again, right now, just from the App Store, but later on from Google Play. The first screen you'll get is this one, and you can enter an email address and the password NYPCC23, so that you'll get to use all of the app's features for free for 2024. We also have the Quick Calm video workshop. It's just a self-paced 45-minute workshop with some of the things we talked about today, as well as many other stress reducers. And Scott's going to quickly mention a way that some of you may be able to get this for free.
Sure. In a moment, we're going to show you a Google QR code to rate NYPCC, to like us on NYPCC. And for those of you who do it and put your name and email in the chat, we will do a bit of a raffle for that. So if you're interested in the Quick Calm, there's a 50% coupon that Jordan has put in there. We're very generous, but also we will be raffling some of them off for free if you go on to Google and you give us your name and email, and we'll take a look at that. Thank you, Jordan.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks, Scott. And as a question to finish up with, how will you reduce your stress this holiday season and beyond? And how will you help others in your life, including your kids, do the same? Because this, again, is about helping others. We can learn about stuff, but if we don't do it, it doesn't do us much good. So if you'd like to put some answers to this in the chat, or if you have other questions about what we talked about today with a couple minutes we have left, I'd be happy to try and answer them for you. Scott, if you have any questions or thoughts.
Yeah, people are putting in taking a break from work, going to the beach. That's extremely important there. And we can open it up for any questions. You know, it was really interesting when you were talking about the vagus nerve and how it triggers hormones that slows the heart down, because a lot of us who are therapists working with folks who are dealing with trauma, PTSD, ADHD, and we often talk about how trauma affects the body, the mind-body connection here. So the grounding exercises, sometimes we do explain about the vagus nerve and how by breathing is one of the few things that we can control in life. It really is helpful. So thank you for bringing that up. I see other things here from taking time to visualize weekly game and movie nights with families. That's makes a lot of sense. That could be a lot of fun, just gathering around the table. We know that community and connection is real important. Taking time for meditation, visualization, nature walks, getting out of the ordinary and into nature, as you said before. Go ahead.
Sorry, Scott, I love the movie night and the playing games because stress hates fun. Just remember that, everyone. Stress hates fun. That's
important. Spending time with elderly loved ones, listening to their stories, focusing on things that I can control, reduces stress, so I don't have to always think about things that I don't have control over. Massages, bi-weekly massages
Mm.
seem to be very helpful here. Stress outlets like exercise is also important. Great, thank you all. If there are any questions, we're just about, at 4 o'clock. So actually, thank you, Jordan, so much. This is a perfect way to end the year and begin the new one. I want to hand it over now to Jonathan. Jonathan, we can't hear you. No. Maybe, are you still in interpretation? There you go. There it is.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you, Scott, and thank you, Jordan, for that amazing presentation. Before we go real quick, if you could all please just give us a review on Google. You could scan this QR code, or you could just go to NYPCC. You could Google it and just give us a review so we can continue doing more presentations like this. If you could also write your email in the chat. We're gonna do a raffle for the app that Jordan was referencing. And I believe this is how we're gonna collect the emails, correct, Scott? Is via
Yeah, yeah. The app, you have the passcode. I put that in the chat, but this is if you want that additional training. He's offering that. But it's the Chill Factory app. And the password is NYPCC23. I'll put it in again.
All right, so we'll do a raffle on that. Please put your emails in the chat if you would like to be part of that raffle.
Yep.
Next slide, please. As you know, we are a mental health clinic and we currently do have openings. So if you know someone or yourself could benefit from speaking to a licensed professional, please, to make a referral, you could scan this QR code or you could visit our website, nypcc.org/referrals, which will take you to our digital referral form. And next slide. And we want to thank you all for being with us. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and on, I don't think we have Snapchat. So those are the ones on Twitter. And with that being said, please enjoy this video and we look forward to seeing you in the new years. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in the one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime